they're still gonna be there if I ever go by there again. I'll have to test it.
I did get steaks and everything. I went to the grocery store yesterday. This is the steaks.
What 5% is that? That shit good, bro. That shit good.
Dude, Asmon has this thing where he reacts in such a, like, I don't give a fuck way that I feel bad even for asking the questions. I'm like, oh, sorry. But it's nice that he's so comfortable in his lifestyle.
Black mold.
Black mold where?
That shit right there.
Oh no, that's there was a like a possum or something that came in through the light.
Oh yeah, there's a hole in
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what we're
it's just because there was so much going on. It was like, brain overload. I don't know.
I will say, credit where credit's due. This shit smells good. That smells stupid good. Butter.
Yeah, maybe is the mold getting to you? Yeah, maybe the mold just infected my brain. But the kitchen did smell good. That was not a lie. It did smell good, but I mean, it was potato cooking in the microwave and then meat on the stove with butter. Like, just how is it not to smell good? Birthday candle. Go. You got me. Okay, this was probably the grossest thing that was there. Besides maybe... No, this was probably the grossest thing. Wait, listen. I paused it before he said, like, how old they are in the bed.
Oh, those are
I heard Tecton made NMP not invite you to the Oktoberfest 10MP stream.
What? Techie? You would never. Why would you slander Tecton? Tecton is my friend, and he taught me how to play Magic the Gathering. And I'm now 2-0 in Magic the Gathering games. So, yeah, it's really good. 100% agree.
Oh, those are brownies.
Another day, and I still maintain everything I had across 5 bases. Everything I had. You don't believe me? This is everything I had. You see it? Everything I had, and it's still there. It's still there. 5 days, and that fucking idiot didn't get anywhere. That fucking idiot. He fucking raids at 6:45 in the morning, and every time I somehow manage to throw like a fucking smoke bomb or whatever, it just entirely like get away with the loot. I don't know, it's like a Trailer Park Boys thing or something, man. But this fucking scrub, he's so bad.
You hear that? Last Valentine's Day. But it looks like maybe one piece was taken out, so I feel like there's such an interesting Valentine's Day story with this pan of brownies, but I didn't ask because it felt too intrusive to ask. But like the whole plate's there except for like a little bit right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
These are fresh cookies.
Wait, so I just saw a wild conspiracy theory from Biblical Angels. It's almost like he has another house and this is a prop. Oh, brother. If only that were true. You know, that would honestly be more interesting if he had another house that was like a big-ass multi-million-dollar mansion that was clean as hell and like perfect and pristine, and then he just had this house for some reason. That would be more interesting.
Shit, my friends like to eat. That's good. That's a good ass cookie.
You.
See, look at this fucking steak.
Hey.
Now it's looking better, right? You're getting stressed out, weren't you, Jay? He was getting stressed out.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the courage to look to confirm. I just poured it out. But that explains why he only drinks soda, because he can't get water from his taps or his fridge.
My turn. Time for you to graze. Nicely done. Oh, welcome.
Where am I?
Wait. The storm peaks await you. Take a look around and see what you find.
What?
That face. I did not know what
Don't
to
need
say.
water when you got Coke.
True. I keep thinking about going back to drinking soda, and I'm like, stop, don't do that. What if I just went on an arc where, like, I was drinking 6 cans of soda a day, and, like, I only ate fast food burgers, like, just to see what would happen? I've done it, man.
Damn, what up, Emmy?
Sometimes I just wonder what it would be like. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not, like, a health food person or anything. Like, my diet's not great by any means, but life
And
speed
we got
run.
one more potato after this, and then we'll have everything.
I'll go prepare the table outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way we can eat like a family.
Okay.
Do you want like paper cut?
What did you need that for? You're literally wearing pants. This is pretty much good to go.
See, this is what I mean where I'm like, I ask questions and I'm like, you know what? He's right. Why the fuck would I even ask that when
Stopping drinking soda
it's
was
so
one of the
obvious.
best decisions I've ever made.
Drinking sugary drinks honestly makes me feel shitty if that's why you stop drinking it. It puts me in like a bad mood having so much sugar.
Oh. Go ahead.
You ever like watch a streamer and you're like, oh man, they're probably way different. It's probably just a character. This is crazy to me. This is like Jay, this is fucking crazy. I've been for 30 years, bro. This is insane. I can like feel his whole life here.
What?
Like I can see where people
Proof of asthma in another house.
the
Yes.
stories
Correct.
that have happened. It's actually fucking wild. You wanna see? Did you see the crater over here? Oh, look at that. What the fuck? Oh, that's a tennis ball. Damn, bro. This thing is so fucking turned blue. What the fuck? Look at these things. You can guess, like, how long they've been here. And then you come over here, right? And you look under this and you see all the toys. So you'd assume that there's, like, kids here. And then you realize Asmon's an only child. And these kid toys are just his from, like, 30 years ago. Look at this, little Tykes. Little Tykes yellow ball. Those were the squirt guns that him and his friends play with. It's like you can see a whole man's life in one house. This house is like a tiny.
Doesn't it look okay? Wait. You know what it looks like now that I look at it? It literally looks like. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna insult the steak like this. I was gonna say it looks like a McDonald's McRib. No, it doesn't. But like, kind of. you see what I mean? I don't know. But you know what? I like the McRib. I'm gonna say it. I like the McRib. I get it sometimes when it's back and available on the menu. Is that disgusting of me? I think it tastes good. Wow, it's like we're having a actually had like a poorly cooked potato. Like, I think you can't fuck up a potato unless it's like cold stale fries or something. Yes? Wait, how? Oh, you know what? Actually, I actually have had a bad baked potato. It was some of these like Texas barbecue places. Why do their potatoes taste like sweaty feet? Not that I would know, but like they have this weird like sweat taste to them. Why am I being No, you know what I mean? Like they have this weird like sweaty off taste. No, it's not the seasoning. It's like something like in the potato flesh. Is wrong. You need church. Oh my god, bro. I've never licked a foot or had a foot flesh. Well, what the fuck are you supposed to call it? The potato flesh? The potato meat? Like what would you call it? No, not the skin! Like the part inside, the pulp? The flesh pulp? Innards? The meat, yeah, the meat, I don't know. The potato? Well, okay, but like, I mean, even for a peach, like the fruit part is called the flesh. So it'd be like the potato flesh. Let me look this up. Am I just insane? Potato. What is the inside of the potato called? What am I'm finding all kinds of potato history. The inside is tender, mealy, and I don't know anymore. It's the flesh. We're just gonna call it the flesh, okay? It's fine. If I can call soap types flavors, I can call potato inside the potato flesh. Just let me do what I want, you know what I mean?
Fun fact about A1, it actually never actually goes bad. It just turns into like wine.
That's crazy. That's good as fuck. It's actually good as fuck. Try that shit.
First time real, authentic as a roll steak. I ate it. Okay, so here's like my detailed breakdown of how it tastes. It looks dry. Yes, it was very dry, but it was pretty much like eating warm beef jerky without that like what is it called? It was like beef jerky. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The gristle. Yeah, there was no gristle. Marinade. No, like, you know how some beef jerky has that like almost like sugary, like shiny coating quality to it? Yeah, it didn't have that, obviously. There's no bristle. Glazing? Yeah, no glazing. But it was just like warm beef jerky. I don't know how else to describe it, but it wasn't bad. Was it a bit crispy? No, it wasn't.
It tastes just like beef jerky.
God.
Yep. Just like beef
You wanna know my favorite food in all this?
jerky.
That's right.
Yep.
Right.
Like, it is a little dry, but
Love these chill
It's dry,
streams
and then
from
that
EA
sauce.
It's like
Gaming.
if it's dry, that means there's nothing bad,
X6,
any
thanks for
bad
9
mold
months.
or anything like that.
Have you eat it like that? It feels like
dude, that's another. You know how I said I sometimes look at these videos that have me in them before I play them on stream and know if I look weird. I don't realize how expressive my face is until I
Hello,
see it on
D.
camera. Like, you can tell what I'm thinking a lot of the time. But then it's also a curse because then when I'm like neutral face, people assume I'm like sad or mad when I'm not. But
beef jerky.
like, if I ever look like I'm empty inside, it's not because I'm empty inside like no emotion. It's because I'm empty inside like no thoughts. So if you ever see me like in the background of someone's stream and I look just empty, I'm fine. I'm having a great time just thinking about nothing. Like, don't ask if I'm sad. I'm fine.
I mean, shit, it makes sense. You've refined your recipe for what I'm assuming is over like 10, 12, 13 years. There's no way some guy's gonna sit there and eat shit for 12 years. That's good as fuck. I mean,
Fuck, I want a potato now. God damn it.
yeah, that's true.
I expected it to be a little bit more bland, like not like in a I meant.
It's not a lot of food, but for me it's perfect.
You ever want me to clean your room or something?
What?
You want me to pick up a little bit sometime or not? Just in case, you know, see how it feels.
See what I mean? He doesn't want it.
Don't look at it.
He doesn't.
I
He
get what
doesn't
you're
want.
You can
He
tell.
doesn't want his life to be fixed. He's happy with it the way it is.
Oh, there's like a lot of.
What is that?
Oh, this was also the sword that almost chopped my fingers off. I was like, oh shit, that's the fucking bitch that almost took off my finger. And Adrian was like, no, not fingers. It was one finger. I was like, okay, my fucking bad. But yeah, I almost got one of my fingers cut off by this sword when we were filming a video. Baseball!
You got a shit?
Oh shit! Wait, that's the thing. Yeah, you did it, but it didn't look good.
Oh yeah, you got it, bro. Clean through.
You know what else is crazy? Those were the only 2 takes we did. Like, I don't know if it seems like we, like, recorded a bunch until he hit it. He hit it both times. 100% accuracy.
Yeah, there it is. There's the mortal wound. That's just dead as fuck. It also smells terrible. You smell that? Smell that. That smells like somebody shit in that bone.
Yeah, it smells like a dead animal. But this is what I told you about the other day, where as soon as we got to the house, we went straight to the backyard, and I saw that shit, and I was like, why is there a mattress there? Is it for, like, all your animals that hang out in the backyard? He's like, no, my ex told me to get rid of it a long time ago, so I just threw it in the backyard. I was like, oh. I mean, that's, yeah, it's out of the house then, I guess.
So nice. I used to wake up at 11 p.m., go to Wendy's at midnight, eat food, pass out on the mattress, wake up at 2 a.m., and stream all fucking night. See?
I got the good bounce spot.
Fat up. That's your magic cards?
I have a lot more, but
Magic the Gathering.
here are these.
Yeah, Sacred Foundry here, bro. That's like $30. Ooh, Slivers too? Ooh, Darksteel Colossus. That's my buddy's favorite card again. That's the good shit though. I'm telling you, if you play Magic and you say, oh, it's too expensive, bro, just write the fucking name on the card. Stomping ground. Yeah, 84 of them things.
Techie's putting a deck together for you, by the way. Honestly, I didn't hate Magic. Techie taught me how to play. I mean, it's not that different from like Hearthstone or Runeterra, but I only play Commander. Yeah.
Bro, this card is obnoxious. Sensei's Divining Top. How to make a 5-minute game turn into a 30-minute game. Holy shit, it adds so much extra time every turn. Yeah, that's cool. You're not playing like cringe decks. You're just playing like good decks. You ever do local tourneys?
Hi, 8.
I got enough
Hello.
DC points. I have my DC perfect.
Oh, what the hell?
And I got enough points to compete in local tournaments, and then I stopped playing.
Does this shit look dorky or does this shit look cool?
I also didn't realize this until I saw. I'm always touching my damn nose. Like, I'm not even like
I
picking my
think
nose
you
or
look
anything.
like
I'm
you
just
are
like.
empty inside because you have no soul, but your explanation is fine too.
Who told you I have no soul? I'm gonna have to take you out now.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's like better. What do you think your rarest card is that you remember?
May I say that you look wonderful today, underscore carrot.
Rare cards because like so I went and I
thank you.
memorized the price of every single card, and then I would like tell people at school like I'll buy all of your cards like wholesale.
Yeah.
And like 2 cards would be worth like $20. I'll be like I'll give you $20 for the whole thing. And they're like, oh okay, sure.
Yeah.
And so that's where I got all those cards.
Damn, bro. Vampiric Dragon and the OG Rithia
Here
Awakening.
and Maruso.
Those look crazy. That's the old way they used to print out multicolor too. Because now it more so looks like
Mirth.
yeah, the
Just
OG
kidding,
shit
just
looks like
kidding, just
murky
kidding.
and fucked up. Damn, that looks nice. Do you care? Oh. Damn, dog. How long ago was this?
Over 10 years ago.
That's sick. Fuck, I
Here you go,
wasn't the
please
file
take
cabinet.
my
I haven't
last
seen one of those
shekel.
in 20 years.
My
Oh,
mom's
thank you.
Check them out. I wonder, are we the out of touch ones? Like, what if no one houses are just like this?
I mean, like, the design. I was like, bro, what are you saying? Like, yeah. Maybe everyone else is just out of touch, and Asmon is just, this is what's normal. Fine, but, I mean,
The
like, look
fillings.
around you. Like, what the fuck is that?
Wait, what, that?
Y'all cannot say my ceilings are fucked up. Seeing this. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. So there were ants, right? Because if you look at like all the bricks, that's ready-made concrete that I put up in there so the ants don't get it.
Literally not even what I was talking about. I was talking about this, and he's like, oh yeah, I used concrete to seal the cracks in the ceiling. Like, yep.
Oh, yeah. So there were ants, right? Because if you look at like all the bricks, that's
Ants.
ready-made concrete that I put up in there so the ants don't get it.
This is like a support beam, right?
Yeah, it is.
Is that a crack?
Can you show us you laying down in the nest?
I don't know.
Like you would, like, if today sucks, how you would roll yourself up in the nest.
The ceiling's gonna cave on him one day. Ah, frick.
Sweater
The
and PJs
ceiling.
got here yesterday. My
Oh,
mom
shit,
said
nice.
she really likes them. I
Oh
love them.
shit! Tell your mom I said thank you. I also found I have one spare pair of the small pajama pants, which are now rare. So I think I'm gonna give them away on stream at some point. So I have a spare pair that's packaged up, never been used.
I was literally just doing
Oh, actually.
so I have
But yeah,
this.
Asmon's been wearing those since the samples came out, which was like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. So, I mean, when he received them, he did say he was gonna have to wear them for a month to test them out, and I was like, oh, haha, wait. And then I realized he actually like was serious. But I mean, he's been wearing them, so I think that means that they're pretty good and he likes them. So I mean, that's good, right?
This blanket, by the way, is Mitch Jones' blanket. That's actually his ex-girlfriend's pillow. So yeah, I get right in here, and then sometimes I can get some more of these. Like, so if it's like really cold.
Oh my god. What did they do to the Lamau emote? I can't stand some of these Halloween emotes. That is terrifying.
Then I can do as much of this as long as I want. I used to have a cardboard box, but then I got rid of it.
You tell me that's not the fucking life. How can you have a bad day when you get to retire to that? Right?
It's very cozy. You know, it looks bad or whatever. It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? It's good.
I'm jealous, bro.
Yeah,
I
it's
think we're the
good.
ones doing it wrong.
Have you seen my room? I basically have that.
Nah.
Yes, I do, and mine is better. I don't care what he says, mine is better. I actually do. I'm sitting here sometimes when I'm like really fucking sad. I'll just like be sitting in here. Yep, and everything's good. Ugh! Fuck! I'm getting old, I couldn't get up. Okay, I fucked up the pile. My bad.
It's not even half as good as this.
It's very comforting in this house. This is what it used to feel like when I was like in 8th grade, and I go to my buddy Trevor's house, and like it was just like I felt like I was going.
Do you
to
not even
another
read this? No.
real human being's house. Everybody in the house was fucking smoking. Did this house used to smell like smoke all the time?
My mom smoked every single day
Yep.
in the house.
Yeah.
Smoking is bad. Don't smoke. Don't do it.
So my buddy, that's how I'll be real. That's how I got back into smoking. It's fucking awesome. I miss it, but I don't do it anymore.
I used to be a smoker. Were you ever a smoker? No. Based.
How would you rate would you live here?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, this house kind of reminds me of the house I had in Kansas when I lived alone. Similar layout. My house was fucking
empty because I didn't buy furniture. Because why would I buy furniture? I'm just at my computer all day.
I didn't buy a single fucking piece of furniture for my my Kansas house besides my bed and my two desks. My parents gave me a couch though,
Only 14 months.
and a TV stand. 8 dubs. So I had one couch. I didn't get any furniture for that house.
I mean, like, I look at it as hunting. You know, like, if you see a buffalo, you want to get that buffalo, right?
But you're just picking stuff up off the street that's like a gathering.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know, like, register him saying that. No, I didn't. Maybe it's because I'm not a man. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Instinct.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll never buy furniture. That's stupid.
Fuck you thinking?
Okay, but it's the same concept. Why would I get a couch off the street if I'm just gonna be at my computer in my bed?
I
I
never
love that
used that
small
couch my
circle.
parents gave me.
Oh, I used to video. I poured salt on my head. They added a storm element to WoW, and I poured salt on my head because I was mad. Yup. This is about what I do. Let's see what interesting here. Oh, I have my cat ears. Oh, this is that jacket Emmy got me. I just put that over here. I think that's pretty much all my
Last
stuff.
Halloween.
As you can see, I do not live in a crack house. I live in a crack home.
We were speechless. Before you guys showed up to film. I mean, that's so thoughtful if he did pick up a little before we got there. What is going on under the desk? This is also an old picture though. He had a different fridge and 3 monitors. And there were like 4 computers under here, not 1. But it looked pretty much the same otherwise.
I feel like I've gone back in time by like 20, 30 years. Because like other houses, they don't feel like this at all. I said it earlier as a joke, but it actually feels like a time capsule of like how shit used to be like 20, 25 years ago.
They never replaced the TV, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that too.
You guys had fun?
Honestly,
Did you guys sign the disclosure thing about like if you get a disease or anything like that, it's not my responsibility?
that's not mine.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry guys, this is probably gonna be the last video Emmer's ever in.
It's true. I died after this video. I'm not real. It's another clone that they made to keep the streams going. Yep. It's true. Emeru
Sup, Peg?
3.4.6.
Hope you doing good.
Is that far now? Thank you. Hope you're doing good too.
Yeah?
Who cares?
Well, thanks for showing us your house, man.
You liked it?
Yep.
Good.
For letting us come over and making us
You have to understand, like, my diet consists entirely of fast food, soda.
But when I see a sing
Followed New Way. I guess.
Fallout New Vegas is the best RPG ever made. And that's why a second one was never released and probably never will.
No! No! No!
Let me explain. Fallout 3 and 4 are the best-selling entries in the Fallout franchise. In 2008, 3 won Best RPG at the Spike Video Game Awards, and in that same year, even won Best Writing in a Drama.
I am in charge here. I am the Enclave. I was shooting my gun when you were still an itch in your daddy's pants.
Yeah, that didn't age well. Selling nearly 12 million copies to date, and Fallout 4 coming in at a whopping 20 million, it's no surprise that these games were a smashing success for Bethesda's bottom line. Despite the profits, these titles don't have the reputation or cult-like stardom that Fallout New Vegas has. So it begs the question to many, what makes Fallout New Vegas so goddamn good? New Vegas opens with a bang. I mean, literally, we just got domed in the head. Waking up inside a stranger's home, we are greeted by a man named Mitchell.
You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings.
Doc serves an important role of allowing the player to customize how they look, what special points they will have, and what skills or traits they excel at, if any. Even the first room of the game rewards the player depending on the skills they choose. A science character has the ability to craft medical supplies or illicit narcotics, which that choice in itself says a lot about the type of character that you are. While a character invested into repair can fix a broken SMG, granted they have enough points. You can also use speech to convince Doc Mitchell to give you more medical supplies. That is 3 different skill checks within the first room of the game. This might seem insignificant, but rewarding the player based on their skills is the bread and butter that makes this game special. This sends a clear message. Your choices are going to matter, but the game doesn't just rely on skill checks to create engagement. New Vegas feels alive because it's extremely reactive to the player. It's able to achieve this illusion through 2 types of reactivity: direct and indirect reactivity. Anything direct is presented through scripted events. If you pick up a blue star bottle cap, that action causes a series of events to unfold, from you being stalked by Malcolm Holmes, hello there, to witnessing a robbery happen in real time. There are so many hidden events that even though I've played this game on and off for a decade, I still discover new things every year. For example, this is Carl. He's a spy that's been sent to Red Rock Canyon to form an alliance between Caesar's Legion and the Great Khan. Should you break this alliance, you probably ended the quest by exposing Carl to Papa Khan and getting him murdered on the spot.
Great Khans, drive Caesar's dog out of our camp.
Yeah.
Hello.
But there is a hidden way to deal with Carl. In the beginning of the quest, Regis warns you that you should probably find a way to take care of Carl.
Carl's the one who has him so fixated on this alliance. You'll probably have an easier time of things if you can find a way to get him out of the picture.
And that's not an empty gesture. Carl even tells you he's plotting something devious if you continue to sabotage the alliance.
I understand you've been talking to the Great Khans about breaking their oaths to Great Caesar. I would call that unwise.
This results in a unique encounter where Carl sends Legion assassins after you.
Carl sends his regards. You have to die.
Defeating them and then waiting a few endgame days forces Carl to go and do the dirty work himself.
You've been a persistent annoyance. I had hoped to avoid this, but it seems I have no choice but to deal with you myself.
Let's get this over with, homeboy.
Well spoken.
I didn't even know this was in the game until a couple months ago. I love when developers create scenarios that maybe only a couple thousand players will discover. It makes your brain wonder, if that's been hiding in the game this entire time, what other events did I miss out on?
Lucky what we have here, ladies. Another unsuspecting ponce.
On the other hand, indirect is shown best through player influence. When you do something, people in the Mojave Wasteland tend to notice.
Shit, you just piss folks off wherever you go, huh?
Friendly warning. You might want to steer clear of NCR facilities. You're not exactly popular. Sure, see you around.
It's such a small thing, but it makes you feel like you're making a name for yourself out in the wasteland. That's why I said earlier, reactivity is an illusion. I don't mean that in a bad way, it's a compliment, because the game does it extremely well. The developers can't think of every single scenario possible, and why would they? It would get easy in the result. But if they engineer enough unique and obscure ones, it sure as hell is gonna feel like they did. But you don't have to take my word for it. Josh Sawyer, the lead designer of New Vegas, said it himself in 2012.
We do this all over New Vegas. You do a quest, hours later, some random dude out in the middle of nowhere goes, hey, reaction to the quest that you did. And they're like, oh my God, this world is full of all this reactivity. But it's really just that one character doing that one thing, and then it's completely forgotten about. But if you do that for a ton of quests, then people go like, wow, there is really a lot of stuff going on where people remember and do things, and this world is alive.
Keep that phrase in your mind as we continue through the game, and you'll start to see it sprinkled all throughout. After taking a Rorschach test with Doc Mitchell, he gives the player quite a few medical supplies, a pit bull, and thousands, letting us know the only thing he found in our body was something about a platinum chip.
I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help to find an extra kid. But it was just something about a platinum chip.
Given we don't have the platinum chip anymore, we can assume that's the reason he was shot. But who would murder someone for something so mundane? Guess we'll have to explore the town to figure that out. Leaving the home, you'll be flashed by the sun and bombarded by DLC pop-ups.
Okay, alright. Okay, that's good. That's good!
The town of Good Springs is like any other rural town. Ranchers trying to support their community while also having stand-up citizens that engage in barter, beer, and defense. Everything here is pretty normal except for the towering robot cowboy.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Yes, you heard me right. This robot is named Victor, and is actually the one that dug us out of our grave.
I was out for a stroll back when I heard the commotion up the old bone rush. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I looked you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were. So I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Victor is a mysterious fellow, to put it lightly. It doesn't make much sense for a robot like him to settle out in the middle of nowhere, and although he's very friendly, I just get the sense that something is off, like he's hiding something. Fun fact though, if you head north after leaving Doc Mitchell's house, you stumble across a vicious creature known as the Cazador. From afar, they don't look that big until these bug bastards dart right at you. However, to my surprise, someone was there to save my biscuits yet again.
Hog killing. You need to be careful. It's dangerous.
This all but confirms that Victor is stalking us.
Yeah, I can smell trouble.
How? You don't have a nose.
You're a fraud!
But there's more to the town than just him. Taking Doc Mitchell's advice, we head towards the local saloon where we meet a pretty little lady named Sunny Smiles and her four-legged friend, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
Sunny offers an optional tutorial for the player. In a nutshell, she'll make 3 bottles, clap some gecko meat, and learn how to make drugs in the wild. As a tutorial, it's not that bad, but also nothing special. On repeat playthroughs, I guarantee you will skip it unless you're going for an idolized run of Good Springs. I haven't mentioned it yet, but you can build a reputation with the groups of the Mojave Wasteland. Depending on your actions, you can be viewed on a scale from criminally vilified to reverently idolized. If you're just a piece of shit, people are going to notice and treat you as such.
Since you haven't pissed yourself, I'll assume that you don't know who we are. Next time I'll bring my sickle and wear my black cloak.
Likewise, if you're a friend of the people, you're going to be treated like the local legend that you are.
Hey, you're the one who's been going around helping people around here, right? The king says to keep up the good work. He said give you this.
Whoa, careful!
This dynamic reputation system, combined with the many skill checks we talked about earlier, helps cultivate this world that feels alive. But this whole system gets elevated to a whole nother level when you factor in the special rule in New Vegas's game design. You can murder anyone in the Mojave Wasteland. Doc Mitchell? Fuck him. Sunny Smiles?
Hey there.
More like Sunny Piles. In most RPGs, you have to follow a very specific quest line or meet certain conditions for a character to be disposed of. But New Vegas throws that out the window. No one is too important in this world, and any person or thing that you see is fair game to fill with bullet holes. But a reputation system is only as good as the factions that inhibit it. Thankfully, New Vegas has some interesting ones. To learn more this early in the game, we need to visit an older gentleman named Easy Pete.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you?
Easy Pete is a way for the player to learn more about the world we inhabit. In the Mojave, there are many factions and towns, each with their own governing style, socioeconomic issues, and ideals of how a post-nuclear world should function. However, let's focus on the big three: the New California Republic, the New Vegas Strip, and Caesar's Legion.
Today's subject, slavery.
Where do we even start? Caesar's Legion is as captivating as it is abhorrent. This brutal faction is led by the charismatic but tyrannical dictator Edward Sala, aka Caesar himself. Inspired by ancient Rome, the Legion is a totalitarian slave state seeking peace and stability through extreme suppression. Which is just a fancy way to say they are fascist, misogynistic Roman cosplayers in football pads that crucify and enslave their neighbors because Caesar believes long-term stability can be achieved by assimilating everyone in the Mojave under one homogeneous culture, whether you like it or not.
It means a nationalist, imperialist, totalitarian, homogenous culture that obliterates the identity of every group it conquers. Long-term stability at all costs. The individual has no value beyond his utility to the state, whether as an instrument of war or production.
The methods Caesar uses to break down the individual are some of the most depraved and sadistic actions you will witness in the wasteland.
I butchered this town. Those who weren't hacked limb from limb were forced to throw themselves from the cliffs. 3 more I have just crucified.
Yet, that's not the greatest evil Caesar is committing. Talking to members of the Legion reveal they all have traumatic experiences of their people being subjugated.
Hangdogs hung out longer than most, broke us by throwing our dogs on the fire.
A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. So I ended up here.
Girls and women were enslaved. The rest were killed.
They truly believe what the Legion did to them was a good thing.
We were savages. The Legion raised us up, made us better than what we were. Then the Legion came. Good thing, too. Stronger now. Don't need those beliefs anymore.
They've been brainwashed so bad, they can't even recognize it.
You're a victim.
But it can be argued that this iron power fist mentality does create results. Dale Barton talks about how dealing in Caesar's land is safer than the NCRs. Raul talks about how Legion brought peace to the Arizona. And although Cass hates to admit it, she says that any caravan marked by the Legion is as safe as an outpost.
As much as I hate the Legion, caravan life would be a hell of a lot easier if they ran the roads.
Well, safe for everyone but you, Cass. You're a woman. We know how the Legion feels about that.
What do you want from me, woman? I'm in charge of the arena, not the cooking pots.
What's most fascinating is that if you spend enough time with the Legion, they open up about why they have the philosophy they do. Caesar is able to justify his regime through his skewed perspective of Hegelian dialectics.
I'll destroy it because it's inevitable that it be destroyed. It's Hegelian dialectics, not personal animosity.
In a real-world example, let's think of pizza. You want pepperoni because that's how a classic pizza has always been made. In this example, you are the thesis. But hypothetically, let's say your girlfriend wants pineapple because she believes pizza should be sweet and savory. In this example, she's the antithesis. After debating, you eventually create a pizza that is half pepperoni and half pineapple. That's
Starfield is this year's biggest release. Some people love it, some people think it doesn't live up to the hype, but one thing is for sure. Every person on this planet owns it. Aside from you, because you're smart and you don't want to part with $120 for a game that could turn out to be just as fun as making a paper shredder. So, in today's Critical View, I shall be adventuring across the stars to give you a definitive answer. Is Starfield this generation's biggest hit, or is this just another in a line of Bethesda's failings? Let's gear up and find out. Bethesda has always been good when it comes to introducing players into their worlds, allowing their openings to not only set the scene for those worlds, but also the stakes that rest within them. Skyrim and Fallout 4 are really good examples of this. Skyrim, in the span of a 3-minute cart ride, is able to fill the world with not only agency, but adds plenty of intrigue for the player to act upon. There is a war raging between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks. What's this war about? There is a disdain for the Thalmor. Who are the Thalmor? Ulfric killed and tried to usurp the High King's throne. Who was this king, and why did he deserve to die? Who is this man, and will he be my friend? Look here, no! Questions that will rattle in your head until a dragon attacks. This dragon attack will not only set up the main questline for the game, but now you are one of the few people who has survived a dragon attack. Whilst the main questline does make you a supposed chosen one,
Thank you, Asmongold and Amiru, for the excellent content for my stream. Thank you, The Great War, for the excellent content for my stream. I'd like to sub to all of your channels. Actually, I don't think I've done Amiru yet, so we're going to come over here and do that. Yep. And then we go, so no, I am subbed. I do stuff sometimes. Yep.
Hi, I'm Jesse Alexander, and welcome to the Great War. The peace settlements after 1918 had divided up the former Ottoman territories in the Middle East into British and French mandates. Britain took control of mandatory Palestine, but the territory would prove very difficult to govern. One of the flashpoints was Zionist Jewish settlement of the Holy Land, a controversial topic today and back in 1921. So in this episode, we'll take a look at the practical implications of Jewish settlement in Palestine after 1918 and the violence that resulted. And it all happened exactly 100 years ago. To understand the clashes in Palestine in 1921, we've got to go back to 19th century Europe and the idea of Zionism. Nationalist concepts often excluded Jews, and in Russia and parts of Eastern Europe, there were regular outbreaks of anti-Semitic violence. These became more intense after the assassination of Tsar Alexander II in 1881, even though his assassin was not Jewish. Faced with discrimination and pogroms, Jewish thinkers like Theodor Herzl began to theorize about a Jewish national home.
fucking Reinhardt? You're joking. Buddy, you're gonna learn really quick that Reinhardt is not. Get his ass. There you go. Damn, man. Don't stand still. Oh, get over here, alright. This commotion making me hungry. It's back up, but oh yo. No way I got this ult with no one to kill. What is this map? Copy this. Who the fuck? Oh. Hold on. My wrist is gonna piss me off. You trying to 1v1, alright? Damn. Fuck. Yeah, don't go past that wall. Or the line. Damn, I just got hit down here. Come on, I'll me back up.
where Jews could live in peace and security. This was the origin of the modern Zionist movement, which at first considered numerous places around the world for a possible Jewish homeland before Ottoman Palestine became the most popular option. In 1896, Herzl published The Jewish State, an attempt at a modern solution to the Jewish question, in which he envisioned a sovereign Jewish state formed by migration in Palestine or possibly Argentina. Not all Jews supported Zionism, but it gained influence quickly. Jews had lived in Palestine from ancient times, and 19th century European Jews had been migrating before Zionism, but it wasn't a national movement. Most migrants were elderly Jews who wanted to live out their final years in the holy cities. But by the eve of the First World War, many younger Jews who identified as Zionists began to arrive. Some of them brought socialist ideas from Europe and formed communal settlements known as kibbutz. Although exact numbers are disputed, around 40,000 Jews arrived between 1909 and 1918, which nearly doubled the Jewish population to 85,000. Jews represented about 10% of the population, while the other 90% was mostly Arab Muslims and Christians. Some Zionists weren't worried about the Arab majority. In fact, in 1909, Zionist activist David Ben-Gurion thought that Arabs would benefit as well. The Jewish settlement is not designed to undermine the position of the Arab community. On the contrary, it will salvage it from its economic misery, lift it from its social decline, and rescue it from physical and moral degeneration. Our Renaissance in Palestine will come through the country's regeneration, that is, the Renaissance of its Arab inhabitants. Many Arabs felt otherwise, like the editors of the Philistine newspaper in 1914. We are a nation threatened with disappearance by the Zionist tide in this Palestinian land, a nation which is threatened in its very being with expulsion from its homeland. So by 1914, 19th century European nationalism and anti-Semitism had caused some Jews to seek a new homeland in Arab-majority Palestine. The outbreak of the First World War stopped Jewish migration for a few years, but British wartime promises set the stage for more conflict. From 1914 to 1918, people in Palestine suffered from wartime shortages, and the region became a battlefield in the last 2 years of the war. It also became a focus of international politics thanks to the Balfour Declaration of November 1917. British Foreign Minister Arthur Balfour sent a one-sentence telegram to the Zionist Federation of Great Britain that would have a lasting impact. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. The Zionist movement appeared to have gained Britain's support, but although some British ministers were sympathetic, the declaration was about wartime strategy. Many Britons believed Jews were influential in the United States and in revolutionary Russia, and hoped that the declaration might help the war effort against Germany. British anti-Semites also supported the declaration in the hopes it might reduce the Jewish presence in Britain. Some prominent British Jews, like Chaim Weizmann, helped bring about the declaration as well. Weizmann was an important chemist for British war production, and he convinced Balfour, Prime Minister David Lloyd George, and Winston Churchill of the Zionist cause. The British government, however, had also made other promises for Palestine. They discussed a pan-Arab state with the Hashemite dynasty and post-war League of Nations mandates with the French. The British tried to untie this Gordian knot at the Paris Peace Conference in 1919. Weizmann met with Hashemite heir Faisal, and both issued statements supporting the Balfour Declaration. Faisal had this to say: "We Arabs, especially the educated among us, look with the deepest sympathy on the Zionist movement. Our deputation here in Paris is fully acquainted with the proposals submitted yesterday by the Zionist Organization to the Peace Conference, and we regard them as moderate and proper. We will do our best, insofar as we are concerned, to help them through. We will wish the Jews a most hearty welcome home. It seemed that Zionists and Arabs might both get what the British had promised them, but things changed quickly. Once the peace conference came to an end, British support for a pan-Arab state disappeared, and they took control of Palestine via the League of Nations. A US commission found that the vast majority of Palestinian Arabs opposed Zionist settlement, but the British authorities began to act on the declaration anyway. Jewish migration and settlement in Mandatory Palestine resumed and expanded under the British regime. 35,000 Jews arrived between 1919 and 1923, mostly farmers from Eastern Europe. In 1920, the British reopened the old Ottoman land registry, which once again allowed land to be purchased. Jewish settlers bought large tracts of land, often helped by international organizations like the Jewish National Fund, the Palestinian Colonization Association, and the World Zionist Organization. Throughout the 1920s, Jewish financial inflows were on average 40% higher than Palestine's actual domestic product. But this land did not come cheap. In Ottoman times, local peasant farmers often didn't register the land in their own names because they were afraid of extra taxes or military service. Wealthier city residents registered the land in their name in exchange for tools or animals to the peasants. Now the landowners in Damascus or Beirut sold their holdings to Jewish settlers for exorbitant prices. Much of the land bought by settlers was sparsely populated and undesirable swamps or marshland. In September 1921, for example, settlers acquired around 72,000 square kilometers of the Yisrael Valley from the Lebanese Sorsuk family for £726,000. Within months, numerous settlements were founded and the swamp was turned into fertile farmland. Other areas settled by Jews were also inhabited by Arab families, some of whom had been there for centuries. The socialist Zionists brought with them the ideology of Hebrew labor, in which only Jewish farmers could tend the land of Jewish settlements. Since hiring Arab labor constituted a forbidden hierarchical relationship, Zionists introduced a system of segregation in which Arab farmers were dispossessed and evicted. Although some received compensation, those who refused were often ejected by British forces at the request of the settlers. Even pro-Zionist Britons in the Mandatory government realized that such actions would lead to conflict, like the legal official who made this observation. The settlements created a policy of economic apartheid, which was bound to strengthen the resistance of Arabs to Jewish immigration. So the British Mandatory government in Palestine was in theory objective, but in practice it supported Jewish migration and passed laws which made it harder for Arabs to expand the lands that they owned. But not all British leaders were in favor of cooperating with Zionist organizations. Groups like the Zionist Commission had been working with the British since the beginning of the mandate, while Weizmann promoted their cause in London. But they couldn't convince all British leaders to support them. Chief Administrator in Palestine, General Bruce Bowles, complained to Lloyd George about Zionist activities in March 1920. My own authority and that of every department of my administration is claimed or impinged upon by the Zionist Commission. It is of no use saying to the Muslim and Christian elements of the population that our declaration as to the maintenance of the status quo on our entry into Jerusalem has been observed. Facts witness otherwise. On the other hand, the Zionist Commission accuses me and my officers of being anti-Zionist. The situation is intolerable. It is manifestly impossible to please partisans who officially claim nothing more than a national home, but in reality will be satisfied with nothing less than a Jewish state, and all that politically implies. Eventually, Bowles called for the Balfour Declaration to be revoked, but his military administration was replaced by a civilian one led by High Commissioner Sir Herbert Samuel in July 1920. Samuel was a British Jew and an enthusiastic Zionist. The policy of His Majesty's government that I had come here to execute is to encourage the immigration of Jews until a point shall be reached at which their interests shall be sufficiently predominant to warrant the establishment of Jewish government in Palestine. Most Arabs were dismayed with an openly Zionist British High Commissioner, but Zionist groups celebrated his arrival, and Weizmann even took credit for it. I was mainly responsible for the appointment of Sir Herbert Samuel to Palestine. Sir Herbert Samuel is our friend. At our request, he accepted that difficult position. We put him in that position. He is our Samuel. So by mid-1920, the pro-Zionist British Mandatory Government increased cooperation with Zionist groups like the Jewish Assembly of Representatives. At the same time, the British denied similar access to Arab groups like the Palestine Arab Congress. Palestinian leaders and intellectuals complained bitterly about British policy. They pointed to the lack of progress towards the promised pan-Arab state and felt that Palestine was treated differently than the other mandates because of Zionist interference. Writer Musa Kazim al-Husseini was part of a delegation that met with Colonial Minister Winston Churchill in August 1921. Since Palestine opened its doors to Jewish settlers, its trade has gradually drifted into their hands. They depreciate the value of land and property, and at the same time manipulate a financial crisis in order that landlords under the stress of need should sell out at ruinous prices. Can Europe then expect the Arabs to live and work with such a neighbor? Had not England better find a country for them in the vast, uninhabited regions of her great empire? Churchill reiterated that Zionism should also benefit the Arabs, but he made it clear that British policy would not change. The British government means to carry out the Balfour Declaration. I have told you so again and again. I told you so at Jerusalem. I told you so at the House of Commons the other day. I tell you so now. We intend to bring more Jews in. We do not intend you to be allowed to stop more from coming in. During the early years of the British Mandate, conditions in Palestine like education, life expectancy, and agriculture had improved, which also fueled Arab immigration from neighboring areas. But it's debated to what extent these improvements in the quality of life were due to Jewish development, which was mostly limited to areas they settled. Conditions had already been improving under the Ottomans before the war, and infrastructure improvements in the Mandate were funded by the British. But some Jews, like Palestinian-born Yitzhak Epstein, felt that material improvements could not heal the rift with the Arabs. Indeed, the Jewish Yishuv has already bestowed considerable bounty on the country's inhabitants. But all of this will not compensate for what we have subverted. How strong is the envy of people who have been swept off their land? The British administration did eventually offer Palestinian Arab leaders a representative assembly with a Muslim majority, but it would be purely advisory and have no actual powers. The Palestinians refused because they felt that accepting would be a tacit acceptance of the Balfour Declaration. Palestinian political opposition to Zionism failed to stop Jewish migration for different reasons. The British refused to accredit Arab congresses, the Palestinians were divided on whether they wanted a Palestinian or pan-Arab state and along tribal lines, and the British mandatory government gradually removed pro-Arab administrators. So gradually removed pro-Arab administrators. So Palestinian Arabs were unhappy with British support for Zionism and the lack of Arab representation. The tensions soon turned violent, and riots broke out in February and May 1920. But events in May 1921 overshadowed all previous incidents. Like the British and the Arab Palestinians, Zionist Jewish settlers were also divided amongst themselves. Relations were especially bad between two socialist parties. The mostly Russian Jewish Socialist Workers' Party wanted a Soviet Palestine, an idea opposed by the much larger Labour Unity Party. On May 1st, 1921, demonstrators from the two parties collided in a mixed Arab-Jewish quarter of the town of Jaffa. Scuffles broke out around the Hassan Bek Mosque, which brought concerned Muslim Arabs into the streets as well. Not only were most of the Arabs opposed to Jewish migration, but also to the anti-religious teachings of Bolshevism, and police struggled to keep the three groups apart. A shot was fired, probably by a British officer trying to disperse the crowd, and the riot turned deadly. Groups of Arabs, including some policemen, targeted Jewish homes and families in the neighborhood, killing and looting as they went. A British officer who was on holiday and witnessed the scene reflected on the dilemma of British troops on the ground. When we found it was a question between the Jews and the Arabs, we did not think it was for us to interfere. Which were we to stop? By the end of the day, 27 Jews were killed and more than 100 wounded. On May 2nd, the violence continued, including an armed response by Jews. Underground defense groups known as Haganah that had been formed in 1920 now sprang into action. Arab accounts of Jewish attacks on May 2nd read much like Jewish accounts of Arab attacks the previous day. Although the Haganah officially forbade acts of revenge, Jewish groups beat and shot Arabs who they thought were involved in the previous day's violence. Over the next few days, the rioting spread to neighboring villages. When a large group of Bedouin Arabs attacked the Jewish town of Petah Tikva, the British sent in aircraft to break up the attack. British reinforcements arrived and ended the riot within a week. By then, 47 Jews and 48 Arabs had been killed. Most of the Jews had been killed by Arabs, and most of the Arabs killed by British forces. The Jaffa riots shocked the Jewish community and British authorities, and revealed just how fragile mandatory Palestine had become. On May 7th, High Commissioner Samuel ordered the first of what would become many commissions into Arab-Jewish violence. The Haycraft Commission of Inquiry lasted 10 weeks. And heard 300 witnesses. The Chief Justice for Palestine's final report criticized the Arab community for their, quote, brutality and savagery. It also judged that Jews had acted in similar fashion, although, quote, they had much to revenge. Overall, Haycraft blamed the Arabs, though he did express some understanding for their motives. The primary cause of the disturbances was Arab discontent over the political and economic consequences of continued Jewish immigration, as well as a perceived pro-Jewish bias by the mandatory authorities. Jaffa was a likely flashpoint since about 1/3 of the town was Jewish, and it was the main port of entry for settlers. The report also warned and reminded British administrators that Palestinians were politically active. A small Muslim center of this sort of people are more politically minded than in a small English country town. and the discussions of politics is their chief, if not their only, intellectual occupation. Even though Haycraft blamed the Arabs for the riots, Arab leaders generally responded positively to the report because it appeared to legitimize their grievances. Zionists were mostly dismayed by the inquiry because its findings undermined their argument that Jews and Arabs could coexist peacefully. Some international Jewish newspapers, like the London Jewish Chronicle, criticized the British for holding the inquiry in the first place. Imagine the wild animals in a zoological garden springing out of their cages and killing a number of spectators, and a commission appointed to inquire into the causes of the disaster, reporting first and foremost that the animals were discontented with and hostile to the visitors who'd come to see them, as if it were not the first business of the keepers to keep, to know the habits and disposition of the animals, and to be sure that the cages were secure. The riots caused Samuel to temporarily suspend immigration and make some conciliatory gestures towards the Arabs, which appalled his fellow Zionists like David Ada. The word traitor crossed my lips. Jewish settlers feared more Arab attacks and worried that the British might abandon them, so some groups began to stockpile weapons. Back in London, Lloyd George, Churchill and Balfour met with Weizmann in July and assured him the Balfour Declaration would remain in place. When Weizmann alluded to Jewish gun running, Churchill responded, "We don't mind it, but don't speak of it." British support for Zionism in Palestine and the Jaffa riots in 1921 were signs of things to come. In 1922, Churchill wrote that the British did not intend to make Palestine, quote, as Jewish as England is English, and that Jewish migration would be limited to the, quote, economic absorptive capacity of the land. For Arabs, these vague promises were cold comfort. 1922 also saw the official start of the British Mandate in Palestine, the wording of which included the Balfour Declaration verbatim and granted Zionist organizations quasi-governmental responsibilities. British protection had helped the Zionist movement achieve a degree of international legitimacy, but Palestine was becoming unstable and violent. Haganah founder Ze'ev Jabotinsky felt that the time had come to build a metaphorical wall around the settlers. Zionist colonization can proceed and develop only under the protection of a power that is independent of the native population, behind an iron wall, which the native population cannot breach. The years to come would put that idea to the test. The roots of the Middle East conflicts in the years after the Great War is an important topic, and that's why we made today's episode. But frankly, if we only made our living with YouTube, we couldn't do it with topics like this one, which is obviously kryptonite for the YouTube algorithm. History is, in the grand scheme of YouTube's gigantic reach, not sexy enough for advertisers, and it's a bit of a footnote actually, and it's certainly not going to go viral. That's why we use crowdfunding for projects like our new series on the Franco-Prussian War called Glory and Defeat. Without your support outside of YouTube, we wouldn't exist. Another pillar of support for us is Nebula, a creator-driven streaming platform which we built together with other educational YouTubers. On Nebula, you can watch all our content ad-free and support creators more directly than on YouTube. We'd like to thank Mark Newton for his help with this episode. And as usual, you can find all our sources for the episode in the video description. And if you want to support our channel, you can support us.
Thank you for the Great War. I've liked and subbed to your channel. Thank you for the excellent content for my stream, How Zionists Came to Palestine Under British Protection. And now the White Wasp must deal with the problem that it caused. And if it leads to nuclear war, I hope I die in the explosion. But I mean, watching you guys interfere with the Middle East and Africa and all these other people who don't look white, and all the damage that you caused, and all the problems that now rear their ugly head. I would say your British conquistadorialism is worthless to me, and I hope that maybe that London becomes Palestine if this is what you did. But you know, I don't hope that. I'm just saying, if you guys caused this, which it sounds like you did, if you guys caused this, I hope you deal with it. So here is the Great War. I'm sorry, no, this is free documentary history, right? How Britain started the Arab-Israeli conflict. Which I believe they did. I've always believed that, which is why I never really cared about this, because every time that the Palestine and the Israelis came up, my hatred for the white man and the rich white wasp and the monarchy and the American government and all the stupid rich white shit that sank the entire fucking world, I think about that. I don't think about Arab-Israeli and all the right-wing white bullshit. I think about how the right-wing white bullshit got us in the Arab-Israeli conflict. And here's how Britain started the Arab-Israeli conflict. A documentary by Free Documentary History with 4 million views of how pretty much the world concedes that Britain and America pretty much started Palestine and well, the Arab-Israeli conflict. People forget that Lawrence of Arabia exists, but it does. I don't forget.
The bitter struggle between Arab and Jew for control of the Holy Land has caused untold suffering in the Middle East for generations. It is often claimed that the crisis originated with Jewish emigration to Palestine and the foundation of the State of Israel. Yet the roots of the conflict are to be found much earlier.
The foundation of the white wasps is on the backs of anybody who isn't white. Let's be real about the conquistadorialism of the rich white world and everything they did to the world and all the sins and all the prices that we're paying right now because of the rich white world. RWW, rich white world. Don't get it twisted. You guys caused this. I don't have a lot of sympathy. You guys fucked over so many other races and so many other classes, and I'm sorry, but I just don't have any sympathy for the rich white wasp. I hope they die. I hope they get fucked in the ass before they die. Goodbye, rich white man. I really dislike what you did to this country, to this world, and I hope you die and get fucked in the ass first by somebody you don't like. I really hope that. And I'm a white man. Any loyalty? No loyalty to the rich white man. Fuck the rich white man. I hope you get fucked in the fucking ass before you die.
Reconcile one with the other.
Wish I was kidding. Wish I was being exaggerational. Oh, I had a moment there. I'm so sorry I got canceled. No moment. I really mean what I say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, without thinking about the consequences. Yeah, that's the rich white man. Yeah. You know, I'm sorry. Oh, am I supposed to take it back on white? How dare he think like that? The rich white man destroyed this world. Destroyed most of these countries, destroyed all of our militaries, caused all the world wars, raped all the women, slaveried all the people who don't look like the rich white man. And I'm sorry, somebody should fucking say it. I'll fucking say it. I hate my own race and I hate my own fucking gender. The rich white man destroyed the entire fucking world, and space travel won't fix it. Space travel to other planets won't fix it. Nothing will fix it. I hope that we see, let's see, about, I really hate saying this about my own race, but let's say it. I really hope that we face about 25,000 years of loss to pay for all of the rich, white, privileged wasp racism and destruction by which we cause this entire fucking world. And no, I feel no fucking loyalty to my race or my gender, because pretty much the rich white man rapes and murders his way across Europe, rapes and murders his way across Americas, rapes and murders his way across the fucking universe, and rapes and murders. I hope the rich white man gets raped and murdered. I hope the rich white man, the wasp, gets raped and murdered. I hope you get what you sowed. I hope to quote some nice Catholic religion. I know you guys love that. I hope the rich white man reaps what it sows. I really do. Fuck you. And on that notice, I'll say, here's how Britain started the Arab-Israeli conflict that leads to the world war that our young white men are expected to fight today. Oh, feel a lot of sympathy for them. They really got to go fight that war and kill a lot of people in Palestine or Israeli or whatever. I really relate to them. I totally think that their point of view is totally valid. I really want to deal with them. The rich white man? Yeah, totally. They didn't fuck over my family or my friends or everybody in my class or everybody in my gender or everybody... You know? Yeah, I really want the rich white man to fuck up the world. Keep on fucking up the world, yeah. I really want that. 25,000 years of that. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Let's just have the rich white man shit all over the world for 25,000 years. See how it goes. Yeah. Did Britain start the Arab-Israeli conflict and is now the entire world paying the rich white wasps, blood debt? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the entire world is paying for white problems. I think the entire world is paying for the mistakes of the rich white man. Kill him. Kill him. I really don't believe I want to cause any death or carnage or any kind of violence towards Chinese people. I really don't believe I want to cause any death or carnage towards the Israeli or Palestine conflict. I really don't believe that I want to cause any death or carnage to Russia. I really don't believe that. I just don't. But to the rich white man, yeah, I'd hang you over burning pits, flay you alive, piss on the ashes, and spread the ashes across the entire world in the hopes that it didn't infect anybody else. I'd do that to the rich white man, though. Yeah. Oh, man, am I white? Yeah, and I really don't like it. I really don't like what my race did to the entire fucking world. And I'll say it if nobody else will. It's called shame. I've never seen it in a white man before. It's called shame. Fucking shame. Shame on the 85-year-old fucking American leadership. Shame on the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Shame on the British monarchy and the Prime Minister. Shame on the entire world's leadership. You led us here. You want the death. You want us to die. I don't trust you. I won't vote for you ever again. I won't pay you any money. I won't be part of you. I won't be any kind of group. If you send my country to war, I'll leave it. I'm not rolling with you. Fuck the rich white man and anybody who rolls with him. Fuck the rich white man and anybody who rolls with him. Did Britain start the Arab-Israeli conflict? Let's learn about how they... Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. America and Britain are paying for the rich white man's usual fuck-uppery of anybody who isn't himself, who doesn't have the same color of skin, who doesn't live in the same country, who doesn't have the same amount of money. The rich white man has treated the entire world like shit, and I hope you fucking die. And yeah, I'm putting this live right to YouTube. I hope you fucking die after what you did. Somebody should say it. I hope I die after what you did. I can't believe what you did. You fucking assholes. You destroyed the entire fucking country. You destroyed the entire fucking continent of Africa. You destroyed the entire continent of Europe. You destroyed the entire continent of Africa. You destroyed the entire continent of fucking South America and North America. You destroyed Australia. You pretty much destroyed and conquistadored everything that you ever came across. And I'm sorry, every other race is guilty of this too, but not like the rich white man. The rich white white man is actually Satan. Satan. The rich white man is Satan. To quote, "Oh brother, where art thou? Oh no, Satan is not red and bifurcated with scales and a pitchfork. Satan is white, you know." Satan is white. Well, there are all manner of lesser imps and demons, Pete, but the great Satan himself is red and scaly with a bifurcated tail. No, this is a rich white man fucking crazy fucking fascist fucking fantasy that you guys have about how it is when you're angry, but no, pretty much the rich white man is Satan. But the great Satan himself, and then listen to it, but the great Satan himself is red and scaly with a bifurcated tail, and he carries a hay fork. Oh no, sir. He's white. As white as you folks, with empty eyes and a big hollow voice. They try to warn you, but you back Satan and you try to say that every other race on the planet wasn't equal to you. You try to say you should have more money than everybody else. You try to say America wasn't great. Fuck you, I'll kill you if you say that to my fucking face. If you say America isn't great to my fucking face, I'll fucking kill you. You understand me? If you ever say around me that make America great again when America was always fucking great, I'll fucking kill you, traitor. I'll kill you, traitor. I know the white man's been giving you a ride in the idiot right-wing republic, but the idiot right-wing republic won't stop my anger. I'll kill you. And that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, let's take the anger to YouTube. Why did the Brits cause the Arab-Palestine conflict? Oh, because they're the rich white man and they're conquistador and they like to rape and murder their way across Europe. If you don't believe me, consult the Crusades. Consult the Crusades. The victor wrote the history, but really the worst race on the fucking planet. You want to be racist? It'd be white people. White people are the worst, most miscegenated, fucked up, shitty ass, dominating, rape, murder, fucking kill you in Blood Diamond Wars or fucking World Wars or any of this shit. Yeah, that's the premise of the rich white man. You think anybody else would have gone to World War II who wasn't a rich white man? No. That's a rich white man thing. World War? That's a rich white man thing. And I hate him. Like I hate Darth Vader, and I'd kill him if I was given permission to. My own race is such a fucking traitor, sank the whole